No, I'm not putting a song on because unfortunately on Skype my music does not come through. I don't know why. And we're live. We're live on Podtrash. Welcome, Hanzi and Daniel.
What's up,
Hello.
man? What's up,
Hey,
Daniel?
hey, Hanzi. Nice to meet you.
Are you familiar with me, or is your first time hearing about me?
I'm actually very familiar with you. I'm a huge fan of the Stern Show. I don't listen as much recently because I'm just so busy with my own show and research and stuff. But when I listened really heavily was kind of during your heyday, sort of height, I guess you could say. So I was
Yeah. I just since then, like, I've been going through a lot of paranoia with like people I interact with. So like sometimes I'm like I always wonder what people's political. I feel like a lot of like conservatives gravitate towards me, but then it's always like the wrong type of conservative, right? Like I don't mind conservative people. I'm just like, you know what I mean. So sometimes I wonder if like like if I'm attracting racist or like elitist. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'm careful of who I interact with. That's why I'm on my own most of the time because I just don't know who anyone is really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. In fact, I have to be extra careful because I am a political radical, and people who are political radicals like me, they're actually watched very closely, especially with what's going on with this coronavirus.
Are you a leftist or are you like a right wing guy?
I'm more of like a hardcore conspiracy. I believe that they are both controlled completely, so I'm actually really against them both.
Well, are you? Okay, well, the thing is like I'm. Well, the thing is like yeah. When you say Democrats, right? See again. See, sometimes people don't get the. In my personal opinion, sometimes I don't think people get that. Like when they compare Democrats to Republicans, they're thinking that they're comparing a left. And in my personal opinion, there is no left in America. It's just a centrist. Like, yeah, the Democrats will do lip service for you, like say, don't be racist, don't be misogynist, and all that. Like, treat people right. But then fiscally, they're taking their money, which is 10 times worse than someone saying a fucking slur or someone being ignorant. Like they'll take their money and they'll put to causes that systemically destroy oppressed people and shit, right? So people always think that that's the left. That's a centrist to the right. An actual leftist is just about their policy, like no more wars, no more like free health insurance and affordable college and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? And then like so people think that that the far left are these nuts, but like they're the ones who are actually more sane than the actual centrists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're precisely correct about that. What they're actually doing is they're building up psychological pressure. So right now we're in a conservative Republican type of era because that's what they want right now. They want a war hawk type president to carry forth certain policies. And by doing this, they're building up tension with a lot of the young people, a lot of these more progressive socialists, people that lean left. And then what we're going to have is we're going to have 4 more years of Trump. And then at the end of his next 4 years, you're going to have a huge blowback. And we're going to see just that. We're going to see a lot of socialist sort of policies. They're going to feed on race. They're going to feed on religion like they always do. And they're going to just keep using it to manipulate all of us.
So you're against socialism?
Well, I think that our forefathers who went back to ancient Greece and came up with democracy, I think they kind of are along the right lines. I don't think we should go too far into socialism now.
Well, see, the thing is, okay, listen, I'm not going to pretend to know what socialism, like the nuances of capitalism and socialism, but from the art, I always see the same talking points against it, and it's always like the same type of right wing type, and I think that people have been sold sold like authoritative communism, and they think that that's what socialism is, when there's other smarter people who are leftists who could probably explain to you the nuances of why capitalism has been destroying people. Like, you know what I mean? People keep saying that it's all socialism, but there's like the elitists, in my opinion. By the way, anything that I say on here, this is just my opinion because again, I don't have facts
Yeah,
like
disclaimer
like
time.
memorized and all that. I'm just putting it out there because you know what I mean. I don't want to become across like a dangerous person. I'm not. I don't have weapons. I'm not a violent person, so I'm not who you're looking for. I just have theories. None of them can be provable unless you really look or something. But no, but I think they use that and they make you think that being kind of like socialist is like a bad fucking thing because the elitists are the ones that are going to lose out on it more. Like if they're exploiting people, they should give a lot more back, in my personal opinion, and they wouldn't be phased one bit. So like, and the thing is that they take that propaganda and they tell regular working people that, oh, this is going to happen to you, and then and because they think that they're going to be on that team. So like, you know what I mean? So in my personal opinion, they conservatives have been kind of sold that fucking dream. Like, I'm not saying Democrats aren't shit, but like I feel like, Bernie Sanders, his, like, again, people say that, oh, it's a populist thing, whatever, and all that. No, but most Bernie supporters are call Bernie out when he does something bullshit, and they also, what's it called, are more about the policies than the actual populist. This is why we're in an era full of fucking populists, essentially.
Well, I can agree with you in terms of I'm angry because the poor, the general population, that's exactly it. They are oppressed, they are manipulated. If somebody told me that we could have Marxism and not have it end up fascist, which is usually what happens, I would be all for it because on paper it does look amazing. And the truth is that we have moved more steadily towards progressive policies, but even those can go too far. I mean, the money does have to come from somewhere, so I can't really say what the perfect sort of political system is, but I can say.
But no, hold on. So sorry to interrupt you, but when people say that they don't know how far you can pay for it, you realize if you cut military spending and you tax a lot of these corporations, the money could come. Like I always hate that argument because I think that how come no one's wondering why we have so much fucking money to always just put into the military or put into corporate bribes and all that fucking shit, and then people wonder what, oh well, my tax will go. No, the plan is to get the fucking elitist who to fucking give their money. Like, it shouldn't be on the regular working people. It should be on the elitists who've taken advantage of the system and use it to their, like, they socialize the losses, but then they privatize the fucking winnings. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, actually, Hanzi, you were, back when I was listening to the Stern Show, you were a hero for me for like a day because you were the first person to ever bring up the topic of magic and secret societies on that show. And I remember during that show, I felt like you were the biggest hero because you were standing up for all of us, all of these people that read into these sort of things, that know the truth and know who's behind everything. You brought it to the public light. And for that, even though it was years and years ago, I do commend you.
okay, well, listen. I appreciate that, but sometimes I know a lot of us are conspiracy, but then you got to realize also that back then, with my generalizations, I was also didn't realize that I was kind of catering to a right wing type of fucking audience because I feel like the right wing has fucking appropriated conspiracies. Like, yeah, there's valid conspiracies, but I feel like the right wing has taken a rightful hold of it. Not rightful hold, sorry, like a hold on it on social media where they'll twist it into generalizations of the Jews, or they will, like, what's it called, only focus on the bullshit race thing that they try to play, but then actually ignore actual racism. So I've kind of, since the Stern Show, I've shifted because I also realized that I was also buying into a right wing thing. So if you're leaning right, in that sense, I hope that, like, that's not the because I'm not like a right wing guy. So I hope you don't think that that's why, like, I'm a hero or some shit.
No, definitely not. In fact, I had my own experience where I started to become a little bit more conservative myself. But what happened was I encountered some real genuine racism on the right. Some real, not this like, oh, we're not racist, we just want the laws to be carried out. I mean, like, you could tell it was real racism. And that's when I started to jump right back in the middle because I realized that there really was something in that sort of paradigm that wasn't working for me. And I do know what you mean. It's a lot of sneaky sort of buddying up to people. I've had some of these right-wing sort of people buddy up to me, and they are paid for by the same people that kind of own everybody. They own the left, they own the right, and they keep us in constant opposition with each other, and that way they can keep manipulating us, which is really what they want. They want our money.
No, I mean, listen, no, I understand, man. I remember because when Bin Laden, in my personal experience, when Bin Laden died,
Yeah.
what's it called? Because, like, it was more Republicans kind of calling out Obama on the lie. and then Democrats were praising this, and I knew that like there was more to the story. Like some people say that he was dead a long time ago. I don't know. Why did you kill him? Why didn't you question him if he was such a wanted and all that? So I started kind of veering towards the right and sawing it from the right view. Even though like, and I used to get it mixed up, and I used to think that the Democrats were the hardcore leftists and all that. But then I realized eventually down the line, like I got into a bunch of different theories. Like one time was like, okay, a lot of people sold their soul, but now they're escaping that old system and they started a new fucking network. And at some point, they're gonna reveal that they were forced to do some fucked up shit or say some fucked up shit. But now I realize that a lot of those guys that were that went in propaganda in the '90s, like okay, like for example, Howard Stern, for example, in
Yeah,
my
I was
personal,
gonna say you actually told Howard that. I remember that episode. You
yeah,
told
yeah,
Howard.
yeah,
Yeah, you told him.
yeah,
Well, Howard, I think you left that group, but I think you actually what you just said. You told him. I remember that show because that caught my ear like really good. I was like, whoa.
yeah, but see, but now I've adjusted my thinking in that it's not that like for example, I thought like at some point Howard Stern and those guys were going to reveal that they're part of a society, but now they're taking over kind of. Now I think that all those guys who left the old system have to become villains again because it props up the younger generation or the less established generation. So Howard could actually be on the good side, but now he has to be more villainous because all these guys they know that their time is at the top is done. I have a personal theory that a lot of these elite are so advanced that they probably have all fled the planet, and a lot of the people you see now are their clones or some shit.
Well, you're very close to the truth, Hansi. In fact, you are disturbingly close to the truth because this factors once you get past these occult sort of magical secret societies that these people are in. At the top is called the cult of Saturn, where they use Saturn imagery and they dispense it through all the organized religions. All the different organized religion sects, they all go back to this original cult of Saturn. And then if you go from there, it goes back to Atlantis. And you ask, who's really in control of these people? Well, we have that information. Every day there's UFOs in our sky. You know about David Icke, reptilians, all that stuff is 100% true, as crazy as it sounds. It is all.
Okay, okay, no. See, with David Icke, okay, see, here's the thing. See, again, this is like a little bit of the right wing shit that I'm talking about. In some way, I'm not saying he doesn't speak truth. At some point, him and Alex Jones were like the leaders of this movement, kind of in a way, and it feels like they were spreading truth for a bit. But then I feel like they knew that this conservative conspiracy thing was going to take off, and they, even though they have some truth in what they say, that a lot of their messaging, like when see again, who am I to doubt lizard people, right? But I think that's part of the propaganda. Just like I think flat Earth is also propaganda.
It
But I
is. It
think
is.
no, so I think in order for a third party to get traction in the social climate, they also have to sell propaganda as well. To you know what I mean? Because look, it's you know whether you want to agree or not, the last decade has built up this fucking marketing tool for people to become conspiracy theorists. Like you know what I mean? Like like people keep saying, oh, this
Yes.
conspiracy. Like you know what I mean? Like a lot of these conspiracy theorists, they see again, they're right about the mainstream media, right? But then the
And
thing
see,
is,
Hansi, this is why I appreciate you because your mind works in a way where you are able to see this stuff, and whatever is different about you, you are able to see outside of the spell. And that's part of the reason I wanted to talk to you. Somehow you are able to see this, and 99% of the people don't understand this like us. Do you understand that?
yeah, I know, but like, but the thing is, this is how paranoid of a conspiracy theorist I am. Part of me feels like you could be an undercover agent trying to gather information right now. You know what I mean? Like that's how fucked up my mind works. Because I'm so.
See, Hansi, I have had 3 people in the last 2 weeks that were those. I have like 16 different groups watching me right now.
Well, yo, just to be safe, bro. Just to be safe, can you just say in your opinion, and this is your theory? Because if you put it out as fact, then they might really go after you. Really, you know what I mean? You got to put it. You got to put disclaimers out there if you want to be a name like that. You know what I mean? You gotta, because I put disclaimers. Like anything that I say, you might think it's truthful, but it's just my opinion. So even if you think I'm right, I hope you don't get any extreme ideas from it. I'm not trying to extreme. I'm not trying to get people to be extreme. You know what I mean? I just want people to think, but I also want people to be peaceful as well. I understand the system is not peaceful, but don't give them reason to think that you're fucking dangerous. All right?
Yeah, and you hit upon a key point that I want to bring up. Another thing you brought up on the Stern show, thank you again, is the fact that Alex Jones should not have been able to sneak inside of Bohemian Grove. That makes no sense at all. They that's them who are at Bohemian Grove. That is the cult of Saturn. How would some chump be able to break in there and get out with footage? Of course he's controlled opposition. And you're right about Ike as well. They're both controlled opposition, and I don't blame you for being suspicious of me. I commend you on that, because you're right. I could be one of them. Anybody could be. I'm not. I'm just a joke who has a podcast in his garage, but nobody really knows that. I'm too smart for my own good, and that's part of the problem here.
Is that your
Well,
garage? Is that your garage?
go ahead.
It's a room in the garage.
Okay.
Andy, do you want to? It's your show. Do you want to chime in?
No, dude,
I feel
Hansi, I find this shit fucking interesting. I've known Daniel for a while now already, right? And
yeah.
I told him, you know what, man, one of my favorite guys out there is Hansi. I've been following Hansi for a while, and he gets, people fuck with this guy to the point where like they make whole Reddit sites in his name to fuck with them, dude. You know what I mean? Because he's obviously onto something. So when you're onto something, the
Yeah.
thing that they try to do? Oh, guy's crazy, you know?
Yeah, no,
Well, what
I get you, man. Thank you.
what they're doing is they are using occult sciences and language and magic to control our whole reality. The earth is not round. The earth is not flat. It's pure magic. Go look at a map of ancient Sumeria if you want to know reality.
No, I get you. Yo, but bro, just so if you think people are after you, right, bro? Just to like, you gotta master the art.
I
of
can
saying-
tell you who it is. I can tell you who's after me.
No, dude. I don't want. I don't want to be.
He's like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I don't blame you.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
No, but dude, just preface your shit by saying in your opinion. Even if you think it's a fact, bro, just say in your opinion. You know what I mean? Because you gotta put disclaimers out there. That's the way you can kind of at least talk about it, because at least you're not saying that, hey, everyone believe what I'm saying. I know everything and that, you know what I mean? Because then you give them reason to think that you're going to be a radical. So just say in your opinion, bro.
And part of the reason why I am totally just coming out with all this stuff and going public is because of this coronavirus. I know that the elite are playing their hand. This is it. This is the end of days. It is all going to go into effect from here. Most likely, it's not going to happen right now, but down the road, the stock market's going to crash. It could happen in 2 weeks. It could happen in 2 years. The gold and silver prices are going to skyrocket. Please buy gold and silver. Everybody stock up on your MREs, stock up on bullets, stock up on everything you need to survive. Make friends, network, buy vehicles, buy body armor, everything that you're going to need to survive for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah, dude, you shouldn't be putting that out there like that, bro. Like, I understand what you're trying to do, but like, dude, people can take that as someone putting some people in panic like that. I'm not down with the panic shit, bro. Like, I understand what you're trying to say, but like because right now I also believe that like the conspiracy world is also taking advantage of this. So right now I don't even know what's real and what's not with the conspiracy world. I know that we're not being told the truth. That's one thing, but don't let the conspiracy world, like, for example, I'm seeing people tear down, like, I'm hearing about people tear down 5G buildings. Don't fucking do that, man. Don't just at this time, don't give them reason to be oppressive on you, man. But just don't put people in panic, all right, man? I feel uncomfortable with that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I know. I've been making a lot of people really super uncomfortable lately, and I do apologize if I'm doing that. And the only reason it is because I've known about what was coming since I was a child, and I see the UFOs in the sky, and I know what that means as well. We are headed. I don't want to panic everybody, but down the road, at some point, we are headed for a war, and it's going to be a war where the aliens and UFOs actually jump in like they did in the past world wars.
Well, I do. Well, I mean, that's your opinion. I have no idea what's gonna fucking happen. I mean, I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I wasn't alive during this pandemic because I never wanted. I never wanted to be here to begin with, but I'm just minding my own business. And again, like the thing is, I'm trying to stay away from conspiracies as well to an extent. Like at least not like the one that are trying to keep you in panic. You know, I'm trying to see some positive light. I mean, maybe this is like, you know, maybe this is like another world where we have in the past life we fucked up, but now we're living it for the second time in a row, and now we're gonna do
You're
something.
right. You're right. And that happened.
I never thought I
That
would
happened
ever.
on 9/11.
I never thought I'd hear somebody say that we're in a fucking pandemic, bro. That's fucking crazy if you think about it. This shit has never happened, bro. Look at your fucking streets. They're fucking dead.
Well, the
Yeah.
two towers that went down on 9/11, those represented the gates. And beyond those gates is the world of the surreal. Once 9/11 happened, the real world stopped existing. And what happened is we all entered into the dream. The stuff in the backstage is now being made apparent to us. I'm a believer in God, and I believe that something's coming to help us, whether that's God himself or the Messiah. I don't know. But
Are
there's
you
some,
hold
there's,
on? Hold on. What you mean? Because the thing, I'm not a religious guy, but I'm a
Mhm.
spiritual. I'm a spiritual guy, so I do think there is like a higher power in this world. So it
There
depends
has
what your
to be.
definition of God is. Because if your God is someone about like not like you're not because I heard this spiel before, so I hope you're not breaking into like, well, like Jesus Christ is gonna save us from all these immigrants or something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
no, no. Actually, God has been working through an ancient alien named Enki through me. So it's completely different than anything you've ever heard. I probably should be on medicine, but hey, that's what's going on.
I mean, well, dude, to at least stabilize it, bro, you should be on. I mean, everyone's. I mean, I think if people do need medicine. I mean, yeah, it might fuck you up, but I mean, at least go see a shrink to see. I mean, no, I guess we
But
can't
the,
do
the
that
thing
now.
is, though, Hansi, you got to look around. The whole world's going insane. It's not us anymore. It's them.
No, I know. I just wish it wasn't like that, man. You know what I mean?
I know. I
Like,
do. I know. We shouldn't be alive during these times. It's not fair to us. That's the truth.
no, well, I'm not encouraging suicide or anything. So I hope you don't. I hope you
No,
don't do that.
no, no, absolutely not. Well, you
No,
know what
no,
we
no.
have to do is we got to stick together and we got to be smart. We can't live like we did before. We can't take it for granted. We have to think about survival, and we have to think about the survival of our spirituality too.
Well, I mean, listen, I guess, man, it's just like it just right now everything's like fucking divided. I have no idea what to trust. Like that's why
It's
I'm that's why I'm even scaling back from like at least with this with the pandemic conspiracies. Even though I don't think we're being told the truth by like the mainstream officials and all that, I'm also not gonna fucking go down the conspiracy road as well because I just don't know what's real anymore with the conspiracy because like like I said, conspiracies are a marketing tool now, and now they've used it to the advantage where like you can't even tell what's real and what's not because like even
well,
like everyone.
if
Go ahead.
everybody out there can do me a favor and look at a temple in Egypt called the Hathor Temple in Dendera. And also I have a thread I compiled on Twitter at Ninja Shoes. And I actually am compiling every little bit of dirty stuff I know on these elites, everything I've researched throughout my whole life, all the research I've done in the past 2 weeks.
Listen, man, dude, you just do that on your own time, bro. Because like the things like if you do have things on the elite, then like you're putting me in a position where like I'm on a show with you, and like you know what I mean, like you know what I mean? Because I
Oh
don't
yeah,
have
I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. You're totally right. I didn't realize what I was doing.
like you know what I mean? Like if you have that, like if you have that, bro, that's on you. But I just met you today, whatever. And like you know what I mean, but like, dude, don't like. I mean, like, again, like you're putting yourself out there to be targeted. Like you know what I mean?
I,
Just just I don't know, dude. Just say that you have theories, bro. That's the one thing that's best about me. I don't have any information. Like I don't have drives. I don't have fucking like I don't have like these documents compiled or anything like that. I just go with what's put on the surface and I do my guessing and I say it's a guess. Like if you have information, bro, then I don't know. Like you know what I mean? 'Cause, like just like don't like advertise it while I'm on here because like you're putting me in a position where like I'm like that's what I'm saying, dude. Can you at least like put disclaimers while we're on? Like you know what I mean? Because like you know what I mean? Because like you know what I mean? I'm kind of wanting to end the conversation. Although I'm not gonna lie. Because like you know what I mean? Because like I'm trying to stay away from the drama. So I just want to do my podcast and just kind of live on. But like you know what I mean? So if you have shit. That's your business and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean?
no,
Yeah,
no.
sometimes I
I,
worry for Daniel because he puts himself out there a lot. You know, I think I told you that last time, right? Sometimes I'm like, fuck, I hope you're safe, bro.
yeah, I'm not safe. I'm not safe, and I don't want to drag any of you guys into this. That's 100%. I don't think that you would be though, because really, I'm the one I'm not succumbing to their dominance. I'm the one that's being stupid, and I don't think that the people around me necessarily are being stupid like me. So I don't think that there's really any reason to be afraid. I
Well,
should
I
be
mean,
afraid.
no, I mean, listen, dude. There's a like you can have like a healthy conversation where you're questioning stuff, and you know what I mean, because like you can have that healthy conversation. It's just like the way you're going about it. It seems like you're like in a way trying to like keep whatever audience you have in panic in a way, and people can partake that as like you know what I mean. I'm not saying that you're gonna cause that, but like then they have a just cause to go. Oh look, this guy is trying to get people riled up. If you're gonna be a fucking voice, bro, you gotta be responsible. That's why when I put up my thoughts and my theories, I always say you don't have to listen to me because I'm not credible in according to society. So the thing is, bro, you really shouldn't like just say you have information or you're doing something because then they're gonna have fucking reason to come and go for you, bro. Like you know what I mean? And
I do. I do. I even have alien technology, and it's putting me in a very
Allegedly,
big. Yeah, it's
allegedly.
that's one of the main reasons I'm in danger is because this alien has actually given me a wormhole technology. I can explain to you exactly how it works right here on the spot. It uses the
No,
numbers 3, 6, and 9.
it's a good bro. It's a good bro. I don't know what you're doing with bro, but you know what I mean. Like I'll have one last cigarette and I gotta go, bro. But like it's nice talking to you. Cause like, dude, I'm kind of worried where this conversation is going, bro. So I can't. I'm trying to stay away from the drama with that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Cause like you know what I mean.
Understandable. And Hansi, I do appreciate the fact that you do take this so seriously, and that is why I wanted to talk to you. And I appreciate you knowing that these things are real. You're one of the only people, and I don't blame you one minute for not wanting to continue the conversation. And I do thank you for talking to me.
Well, no, listen. Listen, how about we just keep it a little bit lighthearted for like the thing. I wasn't planning on staying on long. I had to go do my other shit.
No, it's cool. I actually have to go too. Maybe we could get together another time and just be a little bit more smarter and lighthearted about it.
No, I mean, no, it's fine, bro. But it just, you know what I mean. Like right now, like I have my own problems, right? So like when I'm on with somebody, like that's why I had to ask Andy. I'm like, yo, this guy, like how is he politically and all that? Because I didn't want to like think that because you're saying I'm a hero, and I appreciate that, but you shouldn't think that I'm a hero. One thing I want is not idle words, bro. I just want people to be.
Is because you get so much shit from people and you put up with it.
I know. No, dude, I managed to take that, so it gets more comfortable to handle compliments, to tell you the truth. No, but like, listen, no, but the thing is like,
Compliments make them choke.
like, no, I understand that, but you shouldn't, like, if one thing you're gonna get from me, it's to just free think, you know what I mean? Don't worship me or don't like think I'm some fucking god or
No,
something.
but no, we're not doing that. It's not like that.
I mean, I don't want people thinking that about me either. That's freaking weird. Like, we shouldn't. In my opinion, there's only one God, and that's it. Don't worship people like this idolatry of the celebrities and all that. That's coming to an end.
Well, no. See, the thing is, you can acknowledge that celebrities and politicians have like they live in like they deal with other shit, and it might be on a different level, a darker level. But the thing is like you know what I mean. Like, yeah, you shouldn't worship them, but you can also admit we can also as a society admit that they don't play by the same rules as us, and whatever you see is just symbolism. Like whenever a celebrity is going through in my personal opinion, if a celebrity is going through a trial, the trial is just a show. Like the result of the trial is already determined. But they make it look relatable to us, but it's not relatable whatsoever. Like, you know what I mean? Like the celebrity trials or these mainstream trials are always meant for the show. That's why they pick and choose which ones they put up and show. So like whenever people are getting invested, like this Zimmerman and thing, it's like a real fucking thing. It was meant to be that. Zimmerman was meant to be a fucking character essentially, and that's how society works. We have role players who have become the celebrities have become like the regular people who become viral and shit.
In fact, I would take it one step further, and I would say that at all times we always have to have a celebrity that we are crucifying to distract everybody from the bigger picture.
You know.
That's why I don't get mad at some of these celebrities, bro. Because a lot of these celebrities are puppets. It's more people that are telling them to do this, right? Some people, like I said, that a lot of these celebrities who might be on the good side right now, some of them now have to become the villains. So you're going to see Bill Cosby, you're going to see, Howard Stern. You're gonna see a lot of these guys become Vince McMahon. All these guys are gonna become the villains, even if they might be on the good side, but they know that in order for like a real democracy to happen, they have to be fucking like exposed and all that type of stuff. That's what I think is happening. It's all planned out. They control the narrative of when it happens. And they plan each celebrity when it happens. It's not that it's not real, but they do use it. In my opinion, they use it as a distraction. But what you're seeing is symbolism is happening right there. It represents something. You
Do
know
you,
what I mean?
hey, Hansi, do you think?
Absolutely.
Do you guys think that this whole coronavirus is like more of an attack, so they could eliminate certain people and not like, oh, he died of the flu, but it's like a strategic attack to take out.
Yeah.
Do you think that might be
I'll go
possible?
one step. I'll go one step further, bro. Like I said, that some of these celebrities are probably on the they're probably on their way out of this planet. Like I think there's another planet that they're on right now, or they're in an underground bunker, right? I know
You hit it right there. It's the underground bunkers. I like to call it the backstage. What they do is the thing in Denver, that's more a thing for show, which I'm sure you're probably aware of, Hansi.
That's
But they
Daniel's
have hidden
opinion.
locations all over the globe.
No. So yeah, so what I'm saying is, so like some of these, so like I'm saying that some of these celebrities you see right now, they might not even be the real ones. They might be the actual fucking clones of these people. So I do believe that they're technologically advanced way more than
Oh, definitely,
what we know,
Oh yeah.
definitely.
right? So what I'm saying is, so like but I guarantee you that in this era that might be exposed, and why I think that might be exposed. You notice how with Jeffrey Epstein, there's like a viral meme now that's become like a mainstream meme of, oh, Epstein didn't kill himself, and it's like it's become like, oh, look at, it's like, oh, Ricky Gervais said it at the Academy Awards. Look how woke he is, or whatever. But in my opinion, the real truth is probably that Epstein's probably still alive. That's my personal opinion.
Someone said that they
What's
caught him in.
dangerous is this pedophile rabbit hole. You do not go down the pedophile rabbit hole. That is one that I can tell you is way too dangerous. If they see you sniffing around that stuff, they will practically come to your door. That's how dangerous.
Well, the
Do not follow Isaac Cappy. Do not follow Tracy Twyman. Do not follow Tom Hanks. I'm warning everybody.
well, the algorithm
What,
algorithm is set up
but,
for people to like,
but Isaac Cappy's dead though.
Is he?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's an agent. He's alive.
Oh, so you mean he faked his death then?
He faked his death.
Okay, you think, okay, well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion again. That's your opinion. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. It is my opinion. It is my
No,
I
no,
have.
but the thing is, yeah. So like, so that whole thing that he was exposing the pedophiles was like a lie, whatever.
No. That's the scary thing, Hansi, is it's not a lie, but we don't know which ones are doing it. Is Seth Green doing it? I don't know. Is Tom Hanks? Oh, that's kind of more, in my opinion, for sure. You know what I'm saying? We don't know which one. It's a big trap.
So you think Isaac Cappy was you think Isaac Cappy was like trying to lead you down the wrong path, kind of?
What they're doing is they're creating an intel honeypot. And yes, Isaac Cappy is an actor. And what they do is all these Q people, these Quanon people, they're keeping them, it's controlled opposition. And once you go down that rabbit hole, if you're actually willing to go to the end, I'll tell you what's at the end of it. It's a psychotic Tom Hanks fucking laughing in your face, getting ready to eat your liver.
All right, well, I mean, that's your opinion. I don't know, but yeah, I try to stay away. That's why I try to stay away. Like, like you haven't been convicted of a sex offender or anything, have you?
I have a completely squeaky clean record. I have not.
Okay, no, that's cool. That's cool. No, because like cause there's some people in this. Like, there's one guy that Andy knows, like whatever, right? And the guy's named Jim or Nam, whatever. And apparently he might be that's the rumor. I don't know.
At the very latest, a groomer, definitely.
We know for sure.
Yeah, but no. So let me.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm getting excited. Sorry about
that. So the thing is like I was on this guy's show. And I had no idea, because the thing is, I don't do my due diligence of looking up people's background. I assume if you're on the internet and you're actually having a normalized conversation, I assume that you must be a good person, or you would probably be exposed as being a fucking bad person. So some of these people that come up to me, I don't know who they are. I don't know who they're associated with, and that's why I rather stay alone. I don't know what they have hacked my computer. I know that for a fact. So the thing is, like, I don't know what they're trying to put on me and stuff like that. So in my personal opinion, I don't want to have anything to do with any. So that people on Periscope think I'm a weird guy because I ask people
But
their
when
age.
are we going to start fighting back, though? When are we going to start standing
I
up?
don't know. Well, dude, I don't know about that. I don't know if I have that in me. If you have it in you, then that's on you. But I'm mentally drained from all this shit. You know what I mean? So
We
if you're
aren't
looking,
alone. God is bigger than all of them.
yeah, well, I mean that's what it is, man. I guess you know what I mean. It's just
This is why they're doing it, because they're afraid of God. They know that he can pop up in a deck of cards. They know it's true and they can't control it. That's what they're afraid of.
yeah, dude. Are you putting this on in front of me, bro? Or because
No,
like
dude, this
you
is Daniel. He's been doing this for a very
I've been
long
doing a show
time.
since
This is
2012. You can go back and
he's
listen
not
to the
he's
whole
not
thing. I
he's
mean,
not putting you
I've been
on,
trying to get on the
Daniel.
Stern show since 2012. I mean, I've offered to like do anything, let them fart in my face, or I love Howard. I'm a huge fan of you guys.
but but what if Howard gets exposed as being someone that's evil? Like like how I'm saying is being played out.
I like Howard because he's an entertainer. I don't, if
No,
he's a
no, but I mean,
pedophile, it's
but
no.
no, I'm not saying he is. I'm saying, but would it change your mind if like you found out that he was on Epstein's island or something, or no?
I get kind of concerned about his friendship with Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, see again, you should be more concerned about Jimmy Kimmel's friendship with Howard. Listen, dude, I know I know a lot of you guys love Howard, but you got to admit that all through his career, he's been associated with shady people. He has like the fucking lawyer friend that he had. That
Dominic
guy's like
Barber.
a fucking sociopath. He's a sociopath. That
Dominic?
guy, and yeah, he has license. He has license because he's so unethical. Like for example, like you notice how after Howard left the association with Scores, all of a sudden Scores starts getting investigated for criminal mob shit. It's like so part of me wonders like does Howard do that because he's aware ahead of time of what's gonna happen, or is that just a coincidence? But like you know what I mean? Like
He does seem to push the narrative, but I can recall one time where him and Robin did kind of admit that 9/11 was an inside job.
no, no, well, not Robin. Howard. Howard was skeptical. That's what made me. That's what video made me sure that because I heard that Howard was a conservative type of guy, but then I heard that towards 2004 he was starting to show more social consciousness into the world, kind of, and
What?
that's why I thought that when he had this thing that joined the revolution, that was symbolism of I'm on the good side now, but now he has to answer for his past shadiness and the accumulated stuff that he's probably done in the present, if he has done anything. I
What?
don't know if he
Hansi, but
hasn't.
My
if you
my
that's
complaints with
about
Howard are a little bit different. It's more from like him not having Artie still on and not letting him come back on and stuff like that. That's more of like my complaint towards him, if that makes sense, or even kind of how he treated you, sort of.
Do you think that okay? Because here's an interesting thing that I heard, and I'm gonna finish with this though, okay? Because
Mhm.
I gotta get going. But the thing is like Howard, in my personal opinion, he knew that Artie was on heroin the whole time. I know on the air he played dumb, like if Artie wanted to go, he could. There's no way Howard's a very fucking smart guy. He plays dumb sometimes, but he knew Artie was in trouble. He knew he exploited it until he couldn't deal with it anymore. And people act like the thing is, a couple of things have come out since then. Okay, to one thing, if you go back to and the reason why it came about was because it was edited on the replay. But then somebody remembered the joke that was made. But when Kurt Angle was in the studio, I don't know if it was when Eric the actor was there or when an interview in 2009. But basically, Kurt Angle's talking about Vince McMahon not wanting him to go to rehab
oh
and
that was yeah
not wanting to do this.
that
And then Artie goes, "Well, Kurt, I know what it's like to not have your boss let you go to rehab." And Howard
yeah
was like really pissed off at the time. I thought, "Oh, Howard's pissed off because he's always saying on the air that Artie, you should go to rehab and all that type of shit." But I think it was he kind of exposed Howard for kind of like playing it up like he does he knows more than what he knows. And then here's where it becomes a little bit more definite. Richie Wilson, a lot of the Howard TV guys started working at Revolt TV, Puff Daddy's fucking company TV channel, and they were fired. They were fired because they didn't get the culture. They sued P Diddy for reverse racism type of shit, and for unprofessional place. So then when somebody posts on Reddit, so this is where I saw the Howard Stern Reddit. Somebody asked Richie Wilson, um, okay, so you're mad about the working environment, whatever, right? And he goes, okay, well, were you mad about Artie's unprofessionalism when you worked at Stern Show? He goes, yes. And then the question on there was, oh, and Howard's the one that let Artie's the one that quit, right? And he goes, yeah, as far as I understood, Artie quit. That's never been discussed. Everyone thinks Howard fired him. So so now that becomes another layer that we weren't told the truth. I think Artie had enough of being the heroin guy. He needed a fucking break, and that was his way to escape. Essentially, that's what I think. And I think Howard didn't like that. He tried to escape the show, and that's why Howard has a vendetta, not because Artie fucked up.
No, it was Artie's sister. She went in the paper and she basically blamed Howard, and Howard would have taken Artie back even now, except Artie's sister said something that just made him irate. She basically blamed Howard for the whole thing, and ever since then, Howard won't even touch Artie or let him come on at all. That's what I think is wrong. I mean, I know it would probably piss Howard off if he heard me saying this, but it's true. He should just let the guy on.
Well, the thing, maybe Artie doesn't. Maybe Artie shouldn't be on. And the second, I know you want him on, but like for what? Like what? Like here's the thing. When Artie gets fucked up and he starts going off about how you always notice that when he has to get drugged up before he goes on a tirade against Howard, when he's sober and clean, he's always nice about Howard. Now, I know people are good, so he does it on purpose because he lets out his real feelings about Howard when he's fucked up, in my personal opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But even I get mad at Howard sometimes. You get mad at Howard. Andy gets mad at Howard. We all get mad.
Well, the thing is, in my personal opinion, I believe that Howard has fucked my life up in a lot of ways. So I have a different. See, you see the thing, you haven't experienced it yet. See, you're still in that fan. A lot of people are. A lot of people are. They couldn't believe that Howard could be shady or Howard could be manipulated in some way. But the thing is, like, Howard is supposed to be a villain now. That's what it is. Like he's playing the villain now. He's making it seem like he's a liberal, but Howard's not a fucking liberal. When you praise Mike Bloomberg, you're not a fucking liberal. You're a fucking guy that wants authoritative fucking shit. People keep making this. That's why I despise the current narrative that Howard only sold out because he acts liberal, right? Okay, cool, whatever. But his whole persona, he's always put right-wing propaganda up. He trained this whole right-wing conservative movement of I'm a white guy, so I can say the N-word. Like he has those kind of people. Like people think he was keeping it real, and trust me, back then he was keeping it real about certain things, about the pretentiousness in Hollywood and all that. He was keeping it real about that, but he also implemented fucking conservative type of shit. He's always been a pro-cop guy. He's always been a pro-military guy. Like that's not fucking. He's always been like a propaganda guy. Like people don't realize.
He used to have wrestlers on there and WWE people, but something changed about the show where you're right, he wasn't as much of like the down to earth anybody can come on anymore. And that's kind of what I complain about, is that it's not like against the system as much as it used to be, but then there's an argument that he's gotten therapy or whatever, so he's gonna
I'll agree with that. The old shows came across like there was some rebelliousness, and maybe that's true in the sense that because I always believe that this is my personal opinion. I always believed Howard was a good guy, but he had to be tied with evil. Where like a lot of the far right wing things he pushed, whatever, like the military and all that type of stuff. He probably didn't really feel that way. But
he's very pro Trump, isn't he? He always has been.
Well, no. I think it's going to end up that way. But what I'm saying is, I think when he moved to Sirius and towards the end of K-Rock, he was showing his real good side in some sense, whatever, right? But now that him and every other celebrity is going out as villains, now he has to. What I think is going to happen, he's going to be exposed as being a fake liberal, which by the way is not really a good thing to be a centrist liberal, anyways. But he's going to be, in my personal opinion, he's going to be exposed as a Trump guy, and a lot of celebrities are.
Yeah, Howard has changed my opinion on a lot of things, like. I used to dislike gay people when I was younger, and then Howard made me think differently about that. I used to be totally against abortion, and Howard made me think differently about that. So
Well,
he
well,
had.
no, in some ways he did like advocate for gay people, but he also did like kind of like he also like he would say he'd advocated for them, but then he would also treat them like shit on his show. Like he would do the bottom of the barrel type of shit, like oh how much dick are you sucking and all that type of like not every gay guy wants to talk
The
like
homo
not every
room.
like not every gay guy wants to talk about that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I understand there's something that he advocated for that are good, but it doesn't mean that like he's used Robin as to be racist and be misogynist for a long time. He's used that as a tool. And Robin and there's times when Robin has kind of called it out, but then she goes back into her. That's why I don't like Stern fans that shit on Robin, because Robin actually has to probably put up with a lot of shit. She had to fucking sit there while a Klansman is being roasted. Like that's such a fucking insult.
Well, there's that famous story of Robin. She would like take Howard's picture and throw it on the ground and like step on it or something because she gets so frustrated with him back in like the 80s.
Hey, you know what? During
Well,
during that roast
well,
though,
I don't know.
hey,
I'm just saying that like if you're a black person and you had to fucking sit there while a fucking Klansman sitting where you sit and he's
no,
being roasted.
he never sat in there. She fucking put her foot down. She's like, this motherfucker ain't sitting in my chair.
No, not his chair, but he did end up sitting in there. She got mad. She did get mad in the morning of that,
Oh,
but
did
they
she?
eventually did. But they calmed her down about that. You know what I mean? But she had a
I need to go
valid
back.
fucking point.
I need to go hit the archives and. I
Yeah,
think there's a video.
Yeah, we all
no,
have different bits and pieces.
Yeah.
but the thing is, like, I just don't like how people always use, oh, Robin's only there because she's black. Listen, does she fuck up? But you know what? She's also been a good foil. Like, that's one thing that I hate about. Like, I'm not even saying there's stuff that Robin has said that's pissed me off. Like, she's been very racist against fucking Muslim people and all that. Like, and that's like part of the propaganda that she had to sell. But I always thought that Robin, deep down, in my personal opinion, is really a good person, and I stand by that. I don't.
And I've heard Howard like have Robin's back so many times, and he always takes her side. Like I've never seen him take somebody's side over Robin's even one
Yeah, but
time.
no, but he does that to make it seem like he's like really defending her. But the thing is, that's guilt. That's guilt because he knows that he feels bad because he's put her in a bad position systemically, in a sense. Like because of Robin, you think that a lot of the racist humor that was like people think that's okay, right? Like the like Sal, like not even humor. Like I understand satire and all that type of stuff, but like someone coming on and just saying the N word a bunch of times, Howard, in my personal opinion, Howard feels guilty because he's made Robin be the person that's laughing along with it because she's put in that fucking position. Like if you really got her personal opinion of what of that, she probably wouldn't even want to do it, but she probably has to do it. That's why.
But the thing is, though, it also took the black community like 30 years to finally give Robin the props that she deserves and acknowledge how it was for her and actually, show her some appreciation and give her an award.
Well, no, but she still fucking spouts off neoliberal propaganda. So she still props up. She'll always be for Israel fucking bombing Palestine and all that type of shit.
Well,
so,
how do you feel about that, Hanzi? I wasn't going to bring it out because it's a touchy subject, but since you are, how do you feel about that whole?
I'm afraid to know what your thoughts are, but I kind of side with the.
I don't think I should even say it because, it's
are you pro-Israel?
I don't like that they're killing those people.
Listen, when I say pro-Israel, by the way, I don't mean like people who are living there. I know there's good people who live in Israel. Okay, let me make that fucking clear. I'm not against all of Israel. When you say pro-Israel, that means like you're pro their authoritative government. Like you know what I mean? You can be against the government.
I'm against Israel. In that context, I'm 30,000 times against Israel.
Yeah. Dude, people think that we like people just hate Israel. Like anyone who's from Israel. I understand. There's a lot of people. In Israel, there's a lot of people in Israel that are being censored. A lot of Israeli people that are being censored for actually speaking out on Palestinians' behalf and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And then see, this is why it's dangerous about this because the conspiracy movement. They'll criticize Israel, but then they'll twist it into their fucking right-wing fucking shit. They'll twist it into their right-wing fanfic where they'll generalize all fucking Jewish people, and then the neoliberals will use those people as the fucking examples of criticizing Israel. So any
Yep.
criticism of Israel goes, and I'm telling you, I fell for that shit too. I fell for it too and especially on the conspiracy movement on the Reddit. Like a lot of that started becoming like they started out with like, oh, you see, Hitler, World War II. Like they did. I never bought into um, uh, the Holocaust being a hoax, but I always thought that maybe the numbers may have been fucking fucked with. Like they always amp up numbers, or maybe they dumb down the numbers because they don't want to. Because like for example, like I should think it was like they didn't tell the real numbers, right? So but then I realized that there was more people killed, but they weren't Jewish. So like they always mentioned 6.5, however how many Jews got killed, whatever. But then there was more numbers of other people, and then those people don't get recognized. That's what I came to the conclusion of. But on the conspiracy subreddit, they were trying to fucking going. You see, Hitler didn't want to kill the Jewish people. He just was against Zionism, and he didn't. He was trying to prevent that. And that's when I fucking started catching that. Yeah, this conspiracy shit has a fucking right wing funding in it, and I can't fuck with it the same way. That's how I came to that conclusion, because I was falling for those fucking traps, and that's why I watch who I hang out with and who I associate with, because not that listen, I can talk to somebody who's a conservative, who's a working class guy, who doesn't have systemic power, who might be a little bit ignorant. I can always talk to those people. People I can't talk to are people that are elitist, who might say socially nice fucking things, but then behind the scenes they're taking their money and they're oppressing fucking minority groups and oppressing fucking working class people and shit like that. Like those are people that I can't really have a conversation with. If you're a little bit ignorant and you crack fucking stupid ass jokes that might be kind of fucking racist, I can still talk to you, but I can just tell you that you're falling for propaganda as well, because I think that people are so hell bent on being anti-PC that they think that they got to embrace all the misogyny, homophobia, and racism, because I think that that's what humor is. And I'm not saying that it can't be funny within satire and all that type of shit. I get that.
It's the same as the pedo trap. It's just another honeypot. They want you to hate Jewish people, or they want you to hate Zionists, or whoever they can get you to hate. Then they can start attacking you, and they can take away your platform, and they can take everything from you. It's part of their manipulation. They're so smart, and they have the whole world under a spell. And this whole end of days, it cannot happen until the third temple is built in Israel. That's why they're killing the people there. It's prophecy. They're making it happen. They want to build their third temple. Please, everybody remember that.
Yeah, but don't send people in a riot, bro. Come on.
Oh no, don't riot. Do not riot. Stay calm.
Well, how am I gonna loot her?
No, it's just like but dude, listen, dude, have these conversations, bro. But you gotta put disclaimers, bro, because like then you're giving them just cause, like, you know what I mean? Like I try to that's why I try to stay away from the conspiracy. But once I get pulled in, then I get pulled in with some shit. You know what I mean?
That's when I like to hear you, because you got a certain point of view on it, dude. That's why I enjoy when you go off. Sometimes you'll be talking to somebody on Periscope, and they're like all having fun, and then when Hanzi gets real with them and starts telling them, they kind of just brush them off, or they try to be like, "Oh, Hanzi, you got..."
Like we're idiots, or we're nuts, or we're just, we believe anything that we read.
Hey, I really
but you see, but this is because you're Andy. I know you're a part, like you kind of go like you're not really affiliated with anyone. Like you go around these YouTube drama streams, kind of, right?
Yeah, but I'm podcast.
No, I know you don't really like get heavy. I never see you really in the thick of things. You're always kind of like a bystander, kind of, right?
Yeah.
But so that's what I'm trying to say, that like some of these guys that when you're on YouTube for like 8 hours and all that, and there's not hate against any of like the YouTube streamers or anything like that. It's just like when you're on 8 hours and then you get drama happening, it becomes exciting. I admit that.
Oh my god, dude, it's going crazy right now, Hanzi. It is, dude.
I think what happens is that it becomes a drug, and you think that you have to have drama now because that's your only interesting content, and people think that anything else is fucking boring. But like the thing is, like, you know what I mean? That's why I don't like doing 8 hour fucking streams, because then like I'll be like, well, I gotta entertain. Like I gotta,
Yeah.
like I guarantee you, if I were doing 8-hour streams, I would probably be in the drama shit as well on a heavy level as well.
Somehow,
You're not wrong about that, Andy. You're not wrong about that. I think anybody that does a show, we always have to have that pressure. I always have to have pressure to come up with mind blowing shit, but it's also motivated me. It's got to be the research.
No. But see, but I also think that we've been trained by we've been trained by entertainment, in the late '90s and 2000s, where like for example, like Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony, they would pride themselves on being like a real motherfucking show because people are arguing. And I'm not saying that arguing can't be fun and organic and kept at a level, but then I think that because people associate, oh, realness has to be arguing. Like like being nice to each other means it's boring, right? So now people feel like they have to always be fighting and shitting on each other because if you're being nice and civil with each other, it's not seen as fucking good. It's seen as being PC. And I admit there are people who are neoliberal, who are fucking annoyingly PC for every little fucking thing, and they don't recognize context. But what I'm saying is, but there's also people on that side who think that they're justified in being allowed to say the N-word and all that.
Well, I got a tough question for you, Andy. What do you think about these people giving like hormones to 7-year-olds and turning them from male to female?
That's fucking bullshit.
Okay, yo, can we, okay, listen, I'm not saying you should give hormones, but can we stop with the sensationalist? Okay, listen, I'm not saying that you won't find a case where it's sensationalistic, where something like that's happening, but for the most part, like for example, if let's say a kid, right? If, like I had a kid, he wanted to be transgender, I wouldn't get him any surgeries, but if he wanted to wear a dress, I would let. That's how normal people. See, the thing is, you gotta talk to more actual trans activists, not the fucking neoliberals, where you find all the fucking extremes. Because when you use those extremes, then you're fucking sensationalizing it. I'm not saying that shit isn't going on. What you're saying, and there will be cases of that. But remember, you're also falling for the propaganda as well, in the sense that they show you sensationalist shit, so that you think that anyone that has a transgender kid, that they're all putting hormones. Not everyone is putting fucking hormones in their kid. If a kid wants to identify as a girl, they'll just go, okay, you can wear a dress if you want to. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, who are the trans kids for? Are they for the left or the right?
But dude, listen, I think that you should be a teenager before you make those decisions.
I agree. I totally agree.
In my personal opinion, but if you
totally agree.
If you're just being harmless with it and your kid just wants to wear a dress and that's his choice to wear a dress and you just want to let a kid do your thing, I have no fucking issue with it. You know what I mean? I know there's sensationalist weird shit going on, and I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree you should be giving fucking hormones to fucking kids. I don't buy in that. But I just want you to know that you're buying into sensationalist shit. It's meant to discredit anyone that's trans. You see, things you got to expand your fucking worldview and talk to people that are actually living their life. Don't talk to the clown shows. Talk to the fucking real people that deal with real fucking issues about it. That's what I'm saying. With socialism, you got to have better people to explain it. I can't explain it properly, but there's better people that could explain to you why socialism isn't as bad as people fucking think it is. It will never be seen in a mainstream view because the mainstream will present a fucking narrow-mind view of what socialism is, and they'll use right-wing talking points that you think will always be the answers to the counters, like, oh, how are we gonna pay for it all? Like, you know what I mean? So that's basically what it is. That's to me at least. So I'm just saying with the whole trans thing, don't fucking discredit all trans people because fucking you see a sensationalist story.
Yeah,
okay?
And I get what you're saying. Hey, I got a question though, bro. Since we were talking about Robin and all that. You actually you went up there, right? To the first time. Well, I think you've only been up there once, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what happened. Like, how did it go when you showed up? Did Ronnie show up? Did you get to like shake Howard's hand?
I go over on my podcast, bro, the history thing. But I mean, I can tell. I think I've explained it so many times already.
Yeah.
But I can just give you my interaction with Robin.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, at the time, I used to send an email where I was contributing to the show, and I could tell Howard was really taking a liking to me behind the scenes because Benji did approach me, and I know Benji acts independent on the show, like Howard doesn't know what he's doing. But trust, in my personal opinion, Benji is. That's why Benji has longevity, because Benji is one of Howard's like puppets. Like he does Howard's bidding, whether it's to be annoying or what. It's like, you know what I mean. That's my personal opinion. So when Benji called me in 2008, he's like, "Yo, the show really likes like what you're contributing. Like like the fact that you're trying to just give ideas, even if you're not using them, and the feedback and your stories and your theories and all that type of stuff." So like there was he tried to get me to be an intern for the show, but I didn't want to go to New York to go to school because I didn't know how I was going to fucking afford it. You know what I mean? They probably would have pulled some strings, and it probably would have been a justified way to get me on the show as an employee, but I wasn't going along with it. I wanted to be an independent guy, whatever, right? And so I used to send a lot of email where I said that I love Robin and all that. Like, I think Robin's sexy as hell. I always had a crush on Robin. And then after my segment, 'cause I didn't like the segment when I was on because it was the Biggest Loser contest. I didn't like it. I think it was meant for me to fucking snap and say that I'm better than being a Biggest Loser and all that. I think they wanted to push my buttons in that way, but I was being peaceful because I didn't want to cause a stir. But after the show, I was like really distressed about it. And Robin did approach me to talk to me, like she wanted to talk. And I'm like, oh, yeah, just give me 1 second. And I went to Gary because Gary said something about me, and I was too shy to talk about Robin. But I wanted to ask Robin for a number there.
Back then, you would have fucked her, right? She was pretty cute back then.
She's pretty cute now.
No, she got a little too heavy.
No, it's not her fault though. But I mean, but in 2000, the end of 2007 to 2010, she was like really insanely hot again.
That's a thing.
You know,
isn't that when that guy, the comedian, what was that guy's name, was fucking her?
Jim Florentine?
Yeah.
Florentine.
It was around that time, wasn't it?
All about
Yeah.
But yeah, I always, even when I didn't watch Stern Show as a kid a little bit, I had a crush on Robin, like her opening her fucking blouse.
Oh, that was epic. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That made me horny. I think I jerked off that day when I saw that.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. So yeah, I always had a thing for Robin, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I first saw Stern when it was like when he was on public stations when they used to play a show like really super late at night, probably back in like the mid '90s. That was my first awareness when what was his name? The dwarf that would drink. I'm sorry, Hank the Angry Dwarf.
Hank the Angry Dwarf.
That's another guy. That's another guy that I think was sacrificed for his fame, in my personal opinion.
Maybe, I mean,
like the thing is, like I think like Norm Macdonald tried to expose that, but then he got shut down in 2009.
Yeah. Do you remember that episode when Norm came in there and like blew a loogie and a piece of like Kleenex and threw it on the floor like right in front of Howard?
Yeah, but yeah, I remember that. But Norm Macdonald, he personally thinks Howard's responsible. Howard was kind of in like they made it seem like Hank only came on to drink like on his own. I think they amped that up on purpose. Like, you know what I mean? I think a lot of these, not just Howard's show. I think a lot of these institutions like SNL, wrestling, MMA, they're the ones that help cause a lot of these fucking people to self-destruct, and but then they have to become like. And then when they do a documentary on them, the person who's being in the documentary has to always take full responsibility. I'm not saying that they aren't responsible to some degree, but the full responsibility, the system is dirty, bro. And to me, a lot of these guys are manipulated into doing that. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to an extent, Hanzi, but I can say personally, like the reason I really got into the Stern Show was Artie Lang, because he made me laugh so much on a consistent basis when I was driving to work every morning. And I think he was on the show because he was funny, and Howard, because he is too nice, he can't tell people yes, he can't tell people no, and he was not able to fire him like he should. I wouldn't have been able to do it either. Who could fire Artie?
Well, listen, man, that's your opinion, but I believe Howard played a role in it, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, you know what I mean? You're still buying into. I get it. You're still a fan of Howard, and you haven't. But I think once you trust me, if you were ever in that world, bro, it's not a coincidence that everyone that leaves that show leaves fucking insane. Like
I never go on the show though, because the second I start talking about Israel, Howard would become irate.
I get that, but no, I get that. I mean, in the '90s, he probably would have entertained that thought. He probably would have let you have some say, but he would argue against you. But like now, he just dismisses you completely. No,
That's part
but
of the problem. It's all celebrity stuff now. Like people like me, where they would have been able to go on there, he's gonna retire before that
well, no, but
happens.
okay, but what I'm saying is, okay, even if you got a part of that show, bro, I'm saying it's not a coincidence that everyone that leaves that show leaves fucking insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a lot of these institutions drive people to doing that shit. In my personal opinion, like, I know you don't see it because you weren't deep in with the fucking show.
No, I've been watching though. I've been watching what happens to people like Lisa G. What happened to her? Like, she's just gone.
No, but I'm talking about KC. Like it's not like KC was like like ready to commit suicide apparently, and drugged out of his fucking mind apparently. Like I don't know what the fuck, like, you know what I mean, like. And then
That guy was nuts.
no, see, I don't think he was nuts though. I think Howard drove him nuts. Like,
There's
look,
stuff
look,
about
like,
reading
like,
about
dude,
Bible.
dude, they embarrassed. Like, I know Casey will always say nice things about Howard. He'll never badmouth him. He'll always be friendly about it. But you can tell there's some shit that Casey felt fucking like the one time I saw him really snap was when they thought that he was a coward for they made fun of him because he didn't want to be in the building for
Yeah,
nine
that's
11.
right. That's right.
Like, you know what I mean? Dude, that's really fucked up. Like, it's a natural fucking tragedy. You stay on the fucking air. You stay on the air. Oh, Casey, we won't judge you, bro. Just leave. Just leave. Next day, you're fucking making fun of the fucking guy. He's having a nervous fucking breakdown. Get the fuck out of here. He does that on purpose, bro. I'm telling you, a lot of these guys, get fucked over from living there, man. From being in there. Like, it's the reason why, like a lot, Brent is losing his mind there. Mehmet has lost his fucking mind there. They do that to fucking people, bro. They fucking
Yeah, Mehmet was getting pushed hard. Mehmet was like Howard's favorite for a little while, and all of a sudden he's like, I don't want to go on air anymore. What happened there?
because dude, once you become an on-air character, bro, they fucking basically they control your life. They make your life chaos so that you fucking come on and talk about it on the air. Like, they ensure that your life is full of chaos. That's what I think they did to me, and you know what I mean. And I can't forgive Howard. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean. And that's why I'll never go on, even if I was allowed to go back on. I don't want to go back on. I don't want Howard in my life anymore. He did a good thing. Like, because of him, yeah, people know me, and some people like me a lot, whatever. But at the same time, he's also made it fucking easier for people to go and harass other people, and then he doesn't get he wants all the credit when it's time to be influential, but when it's time to blame him for some of the fucking influence he has, he doesn't want no fucking accountability for it. And everyone always sides with the celebrity because they're more established and they're rich, and everyone wants to be powerful, and they want to be in that position someday where they can make people's lives a living fucking hell. And that's fucking evil, bro. I'm sorry. And you know what I mean? So Howard, even though Howard himself, in the 90s, I always believe they spread truth, right? Go look up on YouTube Howard Meets Satan. And he tells a story, basically. I think he embellished it a little bit, but it was supposed to be symbolism that he has sold his soul. He said that in Arizona he met the devil, the guy, and he was making it seem like he was rebelling against him. But one of the things that he said in that fucking clip was that Satan said that he chose me because I'm good at making people's lives a living hell. I'm destined to do that.
I need to fucking
Hey,
find
Hansi,
that.
have you looked in between the links between Eminem and Satan? Have you looked into that stuff?
No, I will. Here's the thing. You know how my theory is that a lot of these celebrities left the evil side and went to the good side for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2010, when Eminem dyed his hair fucking black again, that was symbolism of him coming back to the good side, because his older work, which was more revered and critically acclaimed, that was when he was serving evil, because he not that he wasn't going through all the shit that he was going through, but he's like one of the main guys that they used to fucking whitenize hip hop a little bit, and also put out the fucking misogyny on a different level. Always like doing rape lines for the hell. Like, that was his propaganda, and then him and all these kids growing up thinking that if they have a fucking argument with their parents, that it's gonna be as bad as Eminem and whatever. Like, I'm not saying Eminem didn't go through fucked up shit as a kid and with his mom and shit, but I think the system used that to amp that up, so a bunch of kids who were influenced by him would fucking also kind of see that in them if they had issues with their parents, and it kind of there's a whole generation of fucking entertainment that made you kind of against your own family in a way. I think, in my personal opinion.
And the reason I brought it up, I didn't mean to like switch subjects. It was actually because of what you were saying about Howard. A lot of these celebrities will hint in their music or at some point that they had a conversation with Satan or they had a dream.
Yeah. But you're talking about My Darling, right? Eminem.
Yeah, but he's not the only one. There's so many. Eminem himself.
Have you heard the song "My Darling" by Eminem?
Oh, My Darling. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
That's the one where he's and then Artie Lang has mocked me for that as well. He goes, "Well, you think he was really talking to the devil?" I'm like, no, he's trying to symbolize that this is the conversation he had with the powers that be. Like how they try to Have you seen Dave Chappelle's special?
Oh yeah, the whole Dave Chappelle thing, absolutely.
No, the Bird Revelation. Have you seen it?
No.
Where he talks about Andy. Did you see Andy?
I do, but I'm trying to remember that part. I really don't remember.
No,
My mind's a
no,
mush.
no. Where he talks about Iceberg Slim.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, it's called. Okay, listen. This is his way of exposing it. You can find it on YouTube a little bit, but they took that part down. Basically, they have some of it, but basically he's talking about how this book by this pimp named Iceberg Slim became the capitalist manifesto, and he was basically breaking it down how celebrities. He was putting his own position in it. How because Dave Chappelle left the system for a bit because he got sick of the system. Right?
Oh my God, he fucking gave up millions.
No. So yeah, because he was dealing with some really fucked up shit behind the scenes, right? In my personal opinion. So in this special, he talks about how Iceberg Slim, one of the tactics is you beat your and this to me apply to the elite and how they how they do to celebrities and how they get celebrities to go along with them is that you can beat your fucking hooker so much to death and then basically make her a bath and then soap her hair and shampoo her and all that type of stuff and then she'll be thankful she'll be thankful to you even though you were beating her 5 minutes before, basically. So he was comparing that kind of shit to what the industry was, and he's talking about how Iceberg Slim got this one hooker that wanted to leave to do one last thing for him to just put this guy to sleep. The guy ended up dying. She calls him. Then he makes it seem like he's protecting her. They fucking cover up the death, and then you know what I mean. He's back. She's back again with another ride. It turns out that Iceberg Slim staged all of that to make this hooker his again. And basically, that's what he said in the end of his fucking bird revelation. That's how I come back and do another special every now and then.
I need to go look at that clip because I missed that.
The bird Look at the bird, dude. It's in the Bird Revelation, bro. It's probably one of the coldest one of the most truthful fucking things I've ever seen.
You're 100% right, Hanzi. There's something called the Hollywood Mafia, and they control all of Hollywood with prostitution, with drugs, prostitution, and also just the Weinstein stuff.
Okay, so hold on a second. So you're awakened to this. You're awakened to this possibility, but you still are not awakened to the fact that Howard could be like, you really think someone like Howard would get to the level he is if he wasn't kind of on that same kick as some of these fucking people are?
It's kind of like the thing where it's need to know. Like everybody who is a shill or whatever, they don't know how much knowledge there is at the top. Like Howard will defend Israel, but he's defending Israel because he thinks he has to because he's Jewish, and
or do you think maybe he there's Israeli influence in him? Like, do you really think that like Black Cube doesn't fucking you heard about Black Cube, right?
When Howard gets mad, no, but wait, Black Cube, that sounds related to my research. Can you tell me more about that?
Okay, well, officially it was.
I'm sorry. Let me preface that a little bit. I've been investigating. It's part of my Saturn research. Is this concept of the black cube?
Okay, well, no. It was reported in news outlets that Harvey Weinstein he used an Israeli private PR firm or a private investigation firm called Black Cube. It's an Israeli.
Shit!
Right, and he used that to fucking suppress the stories or scare the fucking victims. So some people think, and I'm not saying that this is true, but some people think Howard has that kind of connection. Because if you look at my pinned tweet, Howard talks about in the 90s, and this is when he was telling the truth. He goes,
You're starting to scare me.
Howard goes in this clip, and you can say it's satire or what, but he says in this clip that the celebrities haven't figured it out yet, that you hire a private investigation firm to go investigate all these journalists, and that's how you get them to shut their mouths about any dirt they're doing on you. You get dirt on them. And he goes, and I'm a madman. I wouldn't think twice about wrecking someone's life. Like, he said this on the air.
Yeah, I actually heard that clip yesterday or the day before when you pinned it. That's fucking nuts, bro.
So I'm saying that some of these celebrities, bro, like they do. That's why when people go, oh, these women are lying about sexual abuse, right? Why didn't they come out sooner? It's because they're not allowed to come out sooner. Like they're either controlled by non-disclosures or they're being scared off not to talk because these people
Hanzi, anytime you hear about black cube or a Saturn shape, that's them, dude.
Okay, well, I don't know if it is them. That's just my theory, bro. So please don't put
Exactly.
Don't put definites on me, bro. Because like, dude, I don't know if you realize that, but dude, you're putting more heat on me, bro.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's just you made a really good connection that connected exactly with my research.
Well, no, but my point is that you think about all these celebrity worlds, right? But I'm just saying that, but you're still kind of defensive about Howard. Like you don't think Howard could be that cold or evil. Maybe he is on the good side now, and he still has to do that kind of shit. But I'm just saying that you don't think Howard's capable, just because Howard has been really good at hiding his image, man. Like Howard,
very good. Look at that. Look at that video that they released, dude. The fucking video that they released of him fucking talking all that shit. And, you know, remember he was saying this is how we're gonna.
Isn't his PR woman the one that's...
But Andy, even that video, bro, I think it's controlled opposition video, meaning that he, like, you know how my theory is that all these celebrities are becoming villains now?
Yeah.
Like this would have been released sooner if it wasn't for, like, Howard. Like, what I'm saying is that the people, even when there's when there's bad press against somebody, the elite, the person who's involved with it, he controls the narrative. Like Vince McMahon controls the negative about him, but it doesn't go past a certain level. Same thing with Howard. He controls the negative of him a little bit. So part of me thinks that he knows that he knows that his time on the top isn't done. I think that was purposely put out, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, he has to maintain enough, like, whatever you call it, trolling or whatever you call it, where he does wild and crazy things. He has to do that at least a little bit to stay in the papers, but then it has to be controlled by his PR person. I forgot what her name was, but she is very good at what she does, and a lot of people accuse her of kind of ruining the show because she's the one that blocks people like Artie Lang from coming back on the show.
Dude, Howard calls the shots. He probably just uses her as a dude. No one can manipulate Howard, bro. Like that. See, again, he puts the blame on the woman. I'm not saying she isn't fucked up and she's not a part of some fucking cult, but Howard, trust me, Howard has more power than you fucking realize. She's not manipulating anything. Like stop that. And Howard is the one that controls it. He probably put her in place so he can blame. So the blame goes to her. It never goes to him.
He would not have been able to do the show that he does if he wasn't able to kind of like be a little bit manipulative, I guess I'm trying to say.
Like, dude, Howard's not a victim in this, bro. Like, maybe he was when he sold his soul to the powers that be, but now he's. Like, I really wish it went down the way I wanted it to. I really wish that the people that left the old way and joined the new way just revealed themselves and exposed everything. But I guess they're doing it this way where all of these guys are becoming villains, like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, like anyone that says anything like anyone that's getting and remember, when people get canceled, they've used that as a marketing tool too. That's like instead of going, hey guys, I'm gonna go retire and just live off the grid now, they have to go out with the fucking with something that makes people money. So like Roseanne will say something racist, and then all of a sudden we'll spend months on oh my god, what's it called? That's such a hypocritical thing, and we'll argue, oh my god, that's hypocritical because this liberal says something racist, but he's not canceled. So they confuse us with that shit, even though it was probably planned out. All these celebrity cancellations, bro, they're always planned out, in my personal opinion. Like, I'm not talking about regular people. If I'm talking about when regular people being canceled for no fucking reason, that's one thing. But when these celebrities,
Yeah,
it's all dude, it's all a reality show.
it's equivalent to Alex Jones having his platform taken away. That's fake too. Even the way they're oppressing him
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fake.
No, dude, they make it seem like, dude, people complain about, like, maybe if this was '90s, that'd be one thing. It's the fucking 2020s. The internet is just as mainstream as the fucking mainstream. It's like, it's stupid. It's so fucking stupid. People act like the internet is still like 1995. It's not. It's fucking
It works the
2020.
same with the UFO videos. They only allow the UFO videos that are grainy and crappy. They do that on purpose. They want to keep us on the fence about UFOs too. It's crazy the level of how deep this goes.
All right, well, listen, bro. I'm gonna end it there, man. I think I talked to you for like a fucking hour.
No, I gotta go too, man. I gotta go too. I
Hey
swear.
man,
I,
I gotta.
I
This is
am.
Yo,
going on.
Andy. Yo, Andy.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
No,
Right,
thank
Andy.
you, dude. I'm telling you, when you guys are it just, I don't know how you guys like, doesn't the
Yo, yo,
information,
yo, 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 yo. Tweet me the link when you're done with this, and I'll retweet it. All right.
what
Sweet.
the what?
The link that this is all gonna be on.
Oh, it's on my YouTube. I'll send you the link.
All right, cool. Just so just pop at me, like not in DM, just at me so I can retweet it.
Yeah, no
And
problem, bro.
Hanzi, you are always welcome on End of Days Radio, and both Hanzi and Andy, both of you guys are always welcome.
Yeah, dude, just don't become an extremist, all right, bro? Just, you know what I mean, and keep, be
I'll be dead before I ever get a chance.
no, and don't put like, don't make claims that you have fucking, because that really puts a fucking target on you. Like, that's like telling them, yo, investigate me, basically. Like, dude, that's why I don't want fucking evidence. I rather just go with what's put out on the surface on its own, because, you know what I mean, I can just do the guesswork and say I'm guessing and think out loud. Just don't, like dude, for real, like, don't fucking, like, like, don't fucking put yourself in danger like that, bro. Like, for real, don't.
You're making sense.
All right, man. All right, thanks, Andy. Take it easy. All
Thank
right?
you, Hansi. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Hanzi.
Hey, that was pretty good, man. You guys really got into some deep shit.
Yeah, I had fun right there. It went by pretty quick, so I'm assuming it must have been pretty good radio.
Yeah, it was.
All right, buddy, I gotta go too. I got an emergency at home. Something's like overheating.
Okay, man. All right. All
Okay,
right,
thanks,
see ya.
Andy. I'll
See ya.
talk to you next
All
time.
right, bye.
Bye.
And that was Daniel from End of Days Radio. Thanks, guys, for anybody that listened and, hung out here for a bit. Shout out to Cash, K-Town, Gutter, uh, some hot chicks that were hanging out on YouTube. And we'll see you next time with me and Robin doing some more gossip and what's going on over at Kermit in Town and, stuff like, I guess, I don't know, some shit. We'll get into something. All right. Peace.